Okay, so this video is going to talk about standards. Yes, let's talk about standards, you and me. Let's talk about those standards that can be confusing at times in the big old standards books. Okay, so I have here the Arizona English Language Proficiency Standards for 2019. And this, of course, is for ESWL students, not to be confused with the English Language Arts ones, which are also on the same page. So that's why I wanted to make this video to make it a bit clear. So these are the first grade ones, but all the other grades look kind of the same. So I'm going to scroll down past the reading foundational skills, and we're going to look at some of the other ones. So as you are probably familiar with it. Here's the main standard. In these columns here, you have the ELP standards. This is the ELA, the one for regular education students for language arts. Okay, this is the ELA standards that align, that have to do with it, or rather, the ESWL standards build towards these ELA language arts standards. Okay. All right. So now, for instance, let's take a look at something that we will be doing, or you will be doing in the future. So let's say you're doing a writing standard, for instance, standard 4. Okay. So when you go to do your lesson plan, you're not going to put this little part right here. It's got to be really detailed. Okay. So you want to put what's in this column here. And remember, this is for the lowest ELs, this is for basic, and then this is for intermediate students. Okay. So your standard would read something like ELP standard 4, B1, if this is the one you want for them to do, B1, and then you would write out express an opinion or preference using phrases about a familiar topic or story. So remember, all right, this is ELA, okay? So this is for United States students, okay? And for the writing lesson, yeah, you will refer to these, okay? But these are not your language standards for your ESWL students, okay? And then the ELP standards, they need to have this verbiage, and this is what needs to be written for ELP standards. Not this, not these numbers and letters, but this right here, okay, the ELP standards. I hope that makes sense. This is where I would say to my students, does that make sense? But I can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to erase this, okay. Now, I want to also look at how you will write them on your lesson plans. So, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, so this is linked on your lesson plans. So if you're not sure of how to write out the ELP standards, okay, this is the link right here, okay, to the page I'm taking you to. And where to go? There it is. Okay, so when you write these out, all right, you want to start out with EL. That's different than English Language Arts. Okay, and then the grade level. So like is it first grade through 5th? Whatever the grade level band is. Which set of standards does it come from? And then the next part is the standard. So this standard, okay, the one in the left corner there, okay. Now this part here, this is just the general one, okay. So this is just the general idea of what the students are going to be working for as ELs. This is the breakdown. This is what I want to see on your lesson plans, is the breakdown. All right, that's what administrators are going to expect you to understand and know when you're teaching. They are picky about it. Okay, so then you want to have the proficiency level, okay, and that's the PE1 or the B1 or the L1, okay, or excuse me, I'm sorry, not L1, I1, all right, And then, of course, the number, like, is it 1? Is it 2? Okay, so break it down that much. Break it down all the way to the level of EL student for each proficiency level. And then the verbiage, that means type all this stuff out. So remember, this is what you're focusing on. When it says ELP student, ELP standards, okay, let's change the color. Okay, this is what you're focusing on, ELP. Okay, this is for the ESL kids. All right, this is for where it says, of course, ELA. Okay, and these are very similar to Common Core. All right. So again, if you have any questions, send me a direct message about this, and I will, set up a time where I can meet with you to further explain it. Okay. All right. Well, have a great week.